to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brandon, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else you can come up with in this wonderful world we call pro wrestling. Hey, it's great to be here on a Tuesday. Look, see, I told you we would be back on schedule, although I will say, as tired as I am and with the day that I've had, I almost thought, you know what? Let's just pick it up later. Let's just pick it up. But I decided, you know what? We need to get stuff going. And reason being is, number one, Raw was good. All right. We really enjoyed Raw last night, live from Dallas, Texas. And number two, tonight is such a huge night for professional wrestling. And not only did I want to talk a little bit and preview the NXT TNA Showdown, but I also want to give my predictions because I have some ideas. I truly do. I truly do. And I may shit the bed on all of it. None of it matter. But what are you going to do? So anyway, again, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's week is going well. I hope everybody's work week is off to a good start. And if you don't have a work week, then the hell with you. No, I hope everybody's off to a good start here. Looks like we're finally getting some fall weather here in the Show Me State, so super happy about that. Yeah, it's nice to be home and actually get some cool weather, and here we are. Took till the second week of October, but we're getting it regardless, so there you go. But let's talk a little bit about Raw, man. Live last night, like I said, from Dallas, Texas. I believe that's American Airlines Arena. It's a bigger arena, one of the larger ones. And I wanted to say the crowd was freaking weird, right? I don't know why. It's like at times they were the loudest, most electric crowd you were going to get. I even thought at some point, it's like, damn, this is not even like a Dallas crowd. These guys are electric. And then you would come back from a commercial break and it would be like dead, or it was dead prior to the commercial break. And as soon as they would come back, they would be freaking electric and everybody's bouncing off the walls. Like, it was a really, really weird crowd. Now, I will say I'll give them the positives more than I will the negatives, just because when they got loud, man, did they get loud. So enjoyed that part of it. I don't know. And some of the flow of the show was odd because it seems like the commercial breaks were in weird spots. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. It's just odd. And again, I'm watching it on Netflix, and I'm usually just about a little bit, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes behind, so that way I can skip most of the commercials. But even so, even that way, it still seemed just a little off to me. But overall, good show. Matter of fact, scored it a B plus. Had a little bit of everything, had a little bit of miss as well, not gonna lie about that, but definitely a show that it's better than what it's been recently. I don't think I've scored a Raw higher than a B in a very, very long time. So yeah, I was pleased with it. I thought it was a good show, and we knew going into it they had already advertised how the show was opening, so there was no mystery with that, and I thought they did it the right way, with opening with the Tribal Chief. We all know that Roman Reigns opens things up, gonna cut a little promo. I do want to say the crowd missed a little bit here, all right? And here is why. You're going to think I'm crazy. It felt like half the crowd when Roman comes out there are chanting OTC, and the other side of the crowd, the other half, are chanting Roman Reigns, and you couldn't really get the early chant going. Finally, the Roman Reigns chant won out, thank goodness. But I felt like there was a little bit of that going on throughout this whole promo. Roman comes out, sets the tone. We know what we're going to get. By the way, I want to say this, and I want to be very clear. Yes, this is babyface Roman Reigns, but I hope you realized, and I've been saying this since the crowd really started accepting him as their tribal chief. There's very little character change here. I mean, there's character development, yes. Roman likes the cheers. He's not completely getting rid of them, but at the same time, the attitude of Roman hasn't changed a whole lot. And you saw that once again in this promo. Enjoyed the interruption, liked the fact that Heyman and Bronson Reed comes out and Heyman tells Roman, I'm going to show you how this is done, and grabs the mic. Once again, Roman refers to Paul Heyman as a dumbass. And you could tell Roman had enough. Interesting enough that Bronson Reed and Heyman standing right there, Bronson brings up Afa and Sika. And, obviously, daddy and uncle. And, when he's talking about Afa and Sika, that's hitting pretty close to home to Roman, especially when you consider that they haven't been gone all that long. Rest in peace, Wild Samoans. I like that. I thought that gave us a little added realist to it. I like how Roman called out Paul Heyman for like being a part or being privy to that of calling out his family. Because there's one thing that we know: it's family above all, right? I mean, I have that shirt, so um, I thought that this was a really good lead in. The other thing that I thought was awesome is Bronson Reed still, even though he got torched in the promo side of things, he still looked the part. He still didn't back down. He got his ass kicked when he decided that he was going to actually get physical, but it worked. I loved though how Roman calls him out and says, "Y'all came out here like a couple of tough guys. You're leaving like a couple of bitches." And boom, it was on. You knew right there they were going to touch. And honestly, it needed to go down this way with Roman totally, utterly dominating this spot, right? Heyman looked good. I liked the parts that he did. Once again, Bronson Reed, we know what we're getting there. But now Bronson thinks he's got Roman right where he wants him because he gets the match that he wants. And we're going to get an Australian street fight on Saturday. By the way, Saturday, Central Time, 7 a.m. Yeah, I got to get up early on a Saturday. It's not like I wouldn't be up anyway. So, I thought that Roman was in complete control here from beginning to end. I thought Bronson and Paul did a fantastic job playing off of Roman Reigns, but it goes to the point that I've said before. When Roman's on your television screen, Roman is running the shit. And I don't care if he's in there with Heyman, Bronson Reed, Cody Rhodes, Seth. It doesn't matter. It's just different. If you ever I'm sure you've been to like baseball games or batting practice and stuff, and the one guy, it just is louder. Like you ever hear Mark McGuire take batting practice? Like it's just different. Albert Pujols the same way. It's just different, right? That's how I feel about Roman Reigns and how he commands any piece that he's in. Like I truly, truly believe that, and I think that what we're doing right now with Roman is good. I will say, I don't believe Roman can lose this match. I don't. I believe he has to come through in this match. Doesn't have to necessarily dominate it like he did last night. You got to let Bronson have his moments in Australia. He is the Auszilla for that matter. But I just think that this could be a really, really good turning point for Roman. Not to say that there isn't already positive stuff on the horizon for him. I just think that this getting him another big win here. You remember the Clash in Paris? He left on a stretcher. He left in an ambulance. I think Roman has to look strong here, and I think Bronson Reed's the guy to do it because his command of the ring has been so damn good lately too. Yeah, great job, great start. I really enjoyed it because now we know where we're going with this. Now we know we're getting the Australian street fight. We know that Roman is still Roman by dominating the piece, by dominating Bronson Reed physically. Two Superman punches and the work is done. Yeah, I liked it. I really do. I really, really thought this was a good piece. And honestly, this might steal the show on Saturday morning. So we shall see. Be interesting where this match goes on. I assume that it'll go on right after the first match. You can't put it on before the main event. And I assume the first match is going to be the women's crown jewel, with the main event being Cody and Seth crown jewel. But again, you got a lot of stuff here. You got a Cena match that's going to happen. You got you got the big Rhea return to her home country of Australia. So the way this card stacks could be pretty interesting. All right. Speaking of which, we need to keep going, and part of this card is going to be what we're going to get: the Kabuki Warriors versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Rhea is gone right now; she's already in Australia doing press and being home. But we're still going to get some Asuka stuff here, and basically Asuka sets things up right after the Roman promo for Kyrie, and she lets her know, "Hey, you're taking on Io tonight." Kyrie not happy about it. It almost was like she was that close to turning back on her. But again, we get that yell, Kyrie! And and it's on. And I want to say, thank God that it happened because the match was outstanding. But I really enjoy this. I am loving Asuka for this. And let's be honest, at the end of this, Rhea and Io were probably going over at Crown Jewel. I would assume so anyway. I don't know why you wouldn't there, but the bigger thing here happens down the road, and it probably doesn't happen at Crown Jewel. We probably got a few more weeks left of this, but Kyrie eventually is going to stand up to Asuka, right? And when she does, It is going to be so freaking hot. I'm telling you, Kyrie's amazing anyway, and this could be the push that Kyrie needs to get her to this next level. What better person to do that with than Asuka, who is a damn star maker in her own? So there you go. After this, guys, we had what honestly surprised me as being match of the night, and it was Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch. And she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not just her saying it; other people are saying it. Sports Illustrated is saying it. Bleacher Report's saying it. I'm not saying it, but she is definitely up there really, really high. But she put on a damn show here, and not just did she put on a show. Maxine Dupree, I've always said this. I give credit where credit's due. I haven't been that big of a Maxine Dupree fan. I thought we threw her to the wolves before she was ready. I also keep up with her online, and I know all the hard work she's been putting in at the dungeon with Natty and TJ and Tyson Kidd. She's totally chronologizing this, and I I think she was on fire. Now, was it all crisp? No, it wasn't, and it honestly gives more credence to how freaking good Becky Lynch is. But at the same time, if you didn't notice the damn improvements that Maxine Dupree has made, I don't know what to tell you. Out fucking standing. Like unbelievable. I thought she was phenomenal. I thought Becky was even better. But here's the crazy thing, man. The crowd was into this match. They had me on the edge of my seat. Actually, there was a point in time where I thought Maxine Dupree was going to get the 1, 2, 3 and take that damn belt. Like I was that into it, and the crowd made it so good. Becky, obviously outstanding. Maxine, tip of the freaking hat. Wonderful job. This has a shot to be, and I put a star on it here because this definitely has a shot to be match of the week. I mean, we got a lot of matches and some big stuff going on this week, so I doubt it holds. But definitely want to give credit where credit was due because these ladies put on a damn show. The other part about this is Jessica Carr, the referee. Oh my gosh, fantastic job. Doesn't take shit from Becky. Yes, did she have a fast count? Yes. By the way, haven't even said Maxine Dupree won this match via countout. So the belt stays. Becky retains the belt, but she does get the loss. So now we know we're going to get this again. We might not get it today. We might not get it tomorrow, but we're going to get this again. And I can't wait. I'm so excited for it. And if you would have asked me before last night if I would have been excited for a Becky Lynch Maxine Dupree match, I would have told you it sounds like a good time to go get a snack. And I would have ate crow on that for my snack because this was absolutely fire. So wonderful job there, guys. Backstage, we had Roman and the Usos mixing up again. Guys, I'm liking this story too. It's like Roman is a little bit here, he's a little bit there, but again, wherever he's at, he's running the show. And I like the fact that Roman is giving Jay a lot of advice. I mean, we keep hearing Jay's acting like Roman. Jimmy calls him out, and Roman then calls Jimmy out. Lets Big Jim know. He's like, "What's the big deal with him getting advice from me? I don't see what the problem is." And Jimmy doesn't really have a comeback there. And you know what? He's right. I mean, how many titles has Jimmy won? Singles championships, right? And that's Roman's point. Now, with that said, no disrespect ever to Big Jim. But I thought that was played off really well. And again, they're going to revisit this in a later interaction again, where Jimmy was able to kind of stand up for himself in a way. And then Roman says, you know what? Jay is a lot more like me now than he's like you. And I thought that this whole interaction from the beginning, from the first interaction they had backstage to the second one that they had backstage, I thought all of it worked and it led us to a really solid main event as well, right? But Roman giving an idea like, what's the problem? Hell yeah, man. What is the problem? You got one of the greatest champions, if not the greatest champion of all time. And as far as the modern day, there's no one close. And please tell me where I'm missing. Tell me when I'm telling lies, right? So not bad there. After this, guys, Roxanne Perez over Lyra Valkyria. Once again, we get the Lyra interaction with Bayley. I look at my notes here. I said Bayley in tow. And I want to say I'm all in for this, meaning Bayley. Also, I've said before, I love Roxanne and Lyra wrestling each other. They've only wrestled each other a million times in the last couple of years, whether it be NXT or main roster. But what I'm looking forward to here is Bayley. I want more Bayley. Feed me more multiple personality Bayley. And here we had total babyface Bayley. And it worked, it worked until the match is over. Roxanne gets the win thanks to Raquel Rodriguez beating the shit out of Bayley on the outside. And then the switch flips again. But this time, once again, like the end of last week when Bayley went into ass kicker mode, this was ass kicker mode along with Lyra. And Bayley tells Lyra, they got us here. Let's go kick their ass. And a little while later, we see him backstage doing just that as bad guy Bayley. And in following Lyra, beat the hell out of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. So again, I love this. I want every piece of it. Keep bringing it to me. Bayley, Bayley, Bayley. Please, please, please. I know that eventually we have to settle on something here. I get that. It doesn't have to be soon. It just doesn't have to be soon. I just think this story is doing such a good job right now. You probably think there are people that probably think I'm crazy on this. I understand. I don't know. I'm just number one. I love Bayley. So seeing Bayley have such a big part to me is awesome. Number two, it's working. The character is working. Lyra is playing it great with her. Like, yeah, let's keep it rolling here. What if it's that ass kicker Bayley that ends up winning out here, and we end up kind of rubbing off and getting a little ass kicker Lyra Valkyria as well. Just something to think about. That's all I'm saying. Just throwing it out there. All right. After this, guys, we got the CM Punk promo. Number one, I need somebody to get me that CM Punk shirt. All right. If you didn't see it, all pink, block letters, Punk across the. I mean, that just works, right? It works for me with CM Punk being one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and I kind of get a little punk rock vibe from it. So there you go. And you know your boy. So a lot of options here. A lot of options after the Punk promo. We get some interruptions. LA Knight comes out of nowhere. Punk torches his ass, by the way, as I love the line that Punk said when LA Knight calls him out. He's like, the last time you faced Seth Rollins, you were a loser. What, you held championship for 5 seconds? Talking about the Money in the Bank cash in, right? And Punk, I even saw it. When LA Knight came out, actually, I looked at my wife and I said, he's about ready to get torched. And he did, because Punk, he's like, so I'm getting this from a guy that's never won the title. Okay. And you could tell it fried him, because it took LA Knight a while to get his words collected. Matter of fact, it almost got to be a little uncomfortable, where you thought, oh, did you just go too far? Or was he just not that ready for that? I mean, you had to know it was going to come, right? So, I enjoyed this. Jay comes down, and I said, I feel like we've been here before, right? Like recently, when we go back to think about the LA Knight versus Jay Uso versus CM Punk match that ends up going in turn to be Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank. I'm okay with it. I totally am. I'm okay with it. You're keeping all three of these guys on TV. You're keeping all three of these guys in the main event picture. And on top of that, I'm getting Jimmy Uso with this as well, because we have the story dealing with Jay and his personality change. CM Punk still striving to get where he wants to get. And the same thing with LA Knight, just kind of dangling around that main event scene without hopping over that fence. So, I'm totally fine with this. I read a thing this morning. I forget what publication it was, and I apologize for that. But I read it, and it was like, I just same old, same old. We can't book in WWE, and that why are we just revisiting? Because it's a good fucking story. That's why. I mean, why? I don't understand what the issue is. And you know what? A story can repeat without being the same. And that's my biggest thing here. And I think this is completely different because of the personality shift that you're getting from Jey Uso. Also, when you add in the fact that the Usos are together, but are they together? Like, that is more intrigue to it. But more than that, I feel like we could get some CM Punk LA Knight traction out of this. And to be honest with you, yes, I want CM Punk to have a belt, but it doesn't have to be soon. And to be honest, it's one of those things, kind of like Rhea. Rhea doesn't have to have the belt to be amazingly hot, and the same thing goes for CM Punk right now. So CM Punk, along with LA Knight, maybe we could get something simmering here right now, and we also could get a character shift. And I don't think that character shift comes from CM Punk. I don't think it's possible. I think we get a character shift for LA Knight because he's just going to become completely possessed with winning this title that he can't get to. So I don't know. I think there's something there. So I'm good with it. I'd like to see. Let's see where we go. Right. I'm not judging a book by its cover by any means. Guys, that brought us. I got to speed up just a little bit. Kairi Sane and Io Sky had a banger. Another one, as I look down here at my notes, another one that I put a star on because it was so phenomenal. Kairi Sane is one of the most undersung, underappreciated women wrestlers that exist today. I think that everything she touches right now is really good. Her character work is fantastic. She can go in ring. She can go with a multitude of styles. She's a luchadora at times, and it is a lot of fun. And also her finisher, that insane elbow, is one of my favorite finishers in the women's division. So I like this, but like I said earlier, the fact that Kyrie is going to end up splitting with Asuka, and it's going to do both of these girls even better. It's going to be that push that Kyrie Sane needs. And I think this was good. Kyrie going over Io made sense too, by the way, because you had the outside interference and you knew Rhea wasn't there. So there was nobody to make the save. Predictable, yes. Great show, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So there you go. Cody Seth video package was solid. I really enjoyed that. And then right after, we get some more Roman Reigns Usos business. Again, I've spent a lot of time on Roman today, so I'm not going to go into detail here. But once again, I thought it was a really good piece. And, I read again today, why do I have to see the Usos and Roman Reigns having the same argument 3 or 4 different times in the same show? Because they're good. That's why. Because they're freaking amazing at their jobs. That's why. And again, you might not like it, but you have to appreciate it. And my biggest thing is the J. Yes, Roman, he's the centerpiece. Roman is in control of the piece 100%. But the character shift and the character work in Jay is outstanding. Why wouldn't you want to see it progress? But here again, we're the slow burn, right? It's the slow burn. I love long-term slow burn storytelling. It just is amazing to me. And sometimes that means a little extra time on television. Deal with it, right? Let's see here. Tag match, kind of interesting interaction earlier in the night as AJ Styles and Dragon Lee were trying to get. I almost said AJ Lee. I believe that Joe Test did that last night, right? But they got Penta to tag up with them. They took on the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom, by the way, over like Rover. If you haven't recognized it yet, I hope if you watched last night, you see it. The dude's a baby face. Start the baby face run. All right, it's time now. It's time, and he's still going to be a bad acting dude. He's going to lie, cheat, and steal, and it's going to be amazing. Seems familiar, right? But Dom is so over. Why Rusev? Rusev comes down. Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, by the way. But why Rusev comes down again, and why does Dom run from him? Like I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't think it works. And really, we're interjecting Rusev into this already with kind of an all-star tag thing. I don't know. It just seemed it was a little forced. It just seemed a little forced, but Dirty Dom was amazing. Also, at the end, AJ, Penta, and Dragon Lee go over. I thought everybody had their moments in this match. Nobody as good as Dirty Dom and JD McDonough, but why did AJ? I get it. AJ was interrupted wanting to talk about Cena prior and all that stuff, but then match is over. He's breathing heavy and he's like, "We're gonna give you everything that you." It just didn't work for me. Like, do that as a video package, which they did. There was that video lead in earlier in the night, but I didn't need to hear AJ talk about it anymore. It just seemed weird. You just fought these other dudes, and now all of a sudden we're talking about Cena. I'm nitpicking. I get it. I'm nitpicking. So there you go. After this, guys, we had the main event: LA Knight and CM Punk versus the Usos. And LA Knight and CM Punk go over. Why do they go over? Because CM Punk was freaking amazing. Is why. I thought this match was outstanding. I thought every party involved was good. Did anybody notice that Jimmy Uso looked very, very strong? Um, that's my thing. If we get a Jimmy Uso solo run out of this, in the same vein as we got Jay when he broke away from the bloodline, like there's a possibility there for something really, really fun. So I'm good with it. I'm excited to see where this goes. Same way I thought about CM Punk and LA Knight. Just, talking about that a minute ago. There could be a character shift here, and I think there could be a lot of success with this story. The other thing, though, is there is definitely more to come. I would like to kind of get a little bit of a hint on direction here, but here again, that's just me begging. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm very, very excited. Again, we scored the show a B plus. I thought it was a damn good show, and I enjoyed every second of it. So, yeah, great, great, great stuff. It's almost like we don't even remember Gunther. You remember that guy? When he comes back, it's going to be a sack of hell. So we'll see the direction that we go. All right, tonight, guys, huge freaking night, 8 o'clock Eastern and actually 8 o'clock Central. Yes, NXT is on a tape delay here in the St. Louis area. So on the CW, by the way, as I always call it, the WB, NXT. It's going to be great tonight. It is the NXT TNA Showdown. All right, it is a special night. We are getting NXT and TNA people interacting all night long in the ring. We're going to get a lot of story. We might even get a story completion. We get some story additions, and I can't wait for it. Let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it. My little Trick Williams. Ethan Page, he's taking on Mustafa Ali for the North American title. I'm so excited for this. Mustafa Ali getting what was owed to him. And you know what? Since it's special tonight, I'm giving predictions. I'm going Ethan Page keeps the North American title tonight. Although I do see him losing it coming down the road. He's not going to keep it a lot longer. And I would be very surprised if Mustafa Ali takes that belt. Not upset, but surprised. I've talked to you guys about my Mustafa Ali stuff. One of the kindest, most awesome dudes I've ever met in an elevator. The Hardys, all right? The Hardy Boys taking on Dark State. This one's title for title. Winner take all right? My prediction here is the Hardys end up winning a belt they've never had before in the NXT Tag Championships. The Dark State can meh. By the way, it's Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. I think that the Hardys will take control of both of these belts. It's going to be pretty awesome to see both of those belts on the line versus the Dudleys at Bound for Glory. That's my thing. I think this could be really, really special. And Dark State, even though I'm not a fan, welcome to the Hardy Rub. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you take advantage. All right, we got a couple Survivor Series style matches, 4-on-4 though, as Team NXT, where we have JC Jane, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, and Jada Parker taking on Team TNA, Kalani Jordan, The Inspiration, and Mara Sade. Interesting twist, Jordan Grace is going to be the special guest referee. Will she be NXT? Will she be TNA? We shall see. I like it. My prediction here is I have Team NXT going over here with some complications while it happens. All right, that's my deal with that. For the men's TNA versus NXT Showdown, Team NXT is Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. They're going to be taking on Team TNA with Santana, Moose, Frankie Kazarian, and Leon Slater. All right, interesting little twist. Joe Hendry is your special guest referee. Is he NXT? Is he TNA? This is good shit, guys. It is so good. I hope Tommy Dreamer's in house tonight, just because his promo the other night got me so fired up about it. Cannot wait. With the men's, I am going Team TNA. All right, I got Trick Williams ruining things for Team NXT. So Ethan Page over Mustafa Ali, Hardy's over Dark State, Team NXT women over Team TNA, and I got Team TNA men over Team NXT, guys. It's going to be a special night tonight, and I'll talk a little bit about it on Thursday when I also recap AEW Dynamite. Cannot wait. Oh, by the way, Dynamite tonight as well. It's Title Tuesday. I can't believe I just remembered that. I don't have the card in front of me. Watch it. I'll be watching it, but I won't probably watch it until after NXT because I'm so freaking excited for that. I may start Dynamite and then go to it. We'll see. It's just a great night to be alive and be a wrestling fan, and I appreciate everything you guys do for us here. Speaking of wrestling fans, right here at the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. And folks, I appreciate everything. I'll be back with you guys on Thursday, and I can't wait to do it. So thanks for joining us here on the Slow Burn. And guys, remember, in this world, we're wrestling everything, so stay on top. Thanks for joining us here on the Slow Burn.